things aren't going as planned or not going as you envisioned it, that is not the end all be all. And remember, when you allow that to grow, it's only going to increase, it's only going to intensify. And the facts of it is that you're not doing anything to help yourself. Pivoting to focusing on what needs to instantly change. So let's say you're thinking about, wow, I didn't do what I needed to do today. I had 5 things on my list, and I lessened it than usual, but I couldn't even get the 5 done. But you happen to get 1 done, or you happen to be having the rest of the day still, or a few hours, and you have the chance to do something about it. So this is a time where you need to take that in full control, because the more you're dwelling on what time has passed by, and now it being the past, so anything that is now past tense, that you cannot control, all you're doing is draining more energy out of yourself for something that you know for a fact you cannot go back to fix, right? Because remember, everything being cause and effect, it started off with something happening, right? It was the cause of it could have been so many different things. I kind of explained it in my last video. You can check it out for more of that. And like I said, if you want more let's say explanations, or you want me to elaborate, let me know in the comment section, or simply just comment what the topic is or your questions, all that stuff. And yeah, if you even want a part 2, let me know. And don't forget about my links. I won't interrupt or add this stuff again, but I do have Patrons where you get behind the scenes. I do have a lot more on my website that you can check out that could help you, consultations, all that good stuff. So don't forget about those links. Now, to my point of, since it all starts with something, and then it has to manifest into something, which is the effect aspect. It all started in your mind, right? So these are just the basic fundamentals. Now, if we're now saying, what can you now do to kind of get a new fresh start, or to kind of move differently? That's when you have to choose a new choice. When I say choose a new choice, your choice might have been being a negative person. Your choice might have been not being able to break off that habit of, I don't feel like it. Now, I'm saying that things don't always go as planned, as in sometimes you really are in a good headspace, or you've been making progress. But because things do have to have like this, let's say, balanced out, or things have seasons, that sorts of stuff, you want to still be prepared the best you can. So you sitting there and just putting more energy on, like, man, I don't want to be negative, man, I don't want to think about how I didn't get this done, or man, I'm having imposter syndrome in the aspect of in areas that I shouldn't be, in the aspect of like, I move past this, but this triggers me every single time, and I don't feel like I'm qualified, or they don't see that potential in me, or I could be doing more, or I feel out of place, or I don't feel like I should be here. There's so many things I could feel. Now, once you're aware of those emotions, let's now think about high vibrations, feelings that can have you on a different frequency. The reason why I say this is that no matter how corny or whatever you want to call it, whatever it feels to you, it doesn't matter, because it's real life stuff. I feel like in the real world, people kind of overlook these things that let's say tactics or ways of people going about things, because they haven't fully experienced it for themselves to truly know. And I am one of those people that went through that, and I still go through it at times, of especially trying something new, or trying to even now, let's say, I wanted to say like capture that new life, or that vision I had, now bring it to life. So when I have that, and I've been visualizing, I've been having it in my head, I've been putting in the work, and it's just like a matter of time of waiting when it's supposed to happen on God's timing, I then have those feelings of like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I guess I was a bit wrong. However, I don't discredit my progress. I don't discredit how much I've been trying, because I know my capability, and I know if I'm giving it my all that day, right, that day, because your presence is all you got, and it's the present, right? It's the present moment, and it is a present. So when I'm trying to cherish that and treat it as in like, the past is the past, the future, who knows what's next, that type of thing, I don't go back and forth like, why is it not happening? I turned it into, well, what can I do about it? I turned into, oh, I feel joy because well, at least I tried. I feel peace because I'm not here stressing myself, talking down on myself. And I am definitely not worried about if somebody felt like it should be this way, if I should live like this, if I have to do it like this, because it just trains me even more. And the thing about all of this too is that it's a practice in the sense of you have to have the realization that we cannot be victims in life. We cannot allow our circumstances to make us feel like, oh, we'll be forever stuck, or oh, this shouldn't have happened to us. That could be all true, and life can be unfair, but we have to look in the brighter side. Because when you're making that money that you want, when you have a nice paycheck that makes you feel joy, why are you not also having that same energy when you're saying, I show up for myself, for the smaller things? This is why many people do say you have to celebrate your small wins, because quite frankly, you go through your smaller wins more than anything else, right? Because you have to have those small wins on a daily, as far as like showing up for yourself, taking care of yourself. Let's just say the basics. Let's say for a day that you have those small wins, starting with making your bed or starting with getting out of bed. The next is taking care of your regular routines. So, of course, brushing, washing your face, washing your hair, however you go about it, showering, all that stuff. If you did the most important stuff, that right there should give you some sort of sense of like, wow, I showed up for myself. Because you can choose every day to try to sleep, to try to run away. You could choose that. But those little things that we could overlook, that could be add-ons to just grow our gratitude, to just grow our happiness. That's what we have to be fixed on. And so to kind of like get into concluding this video and wrapping it up, I want you to understand the things that are bringing you back to where you don't want to be at, or the feelings that you have to switch so you have new emotions. And I say this because social media can be a problem sometimes. If you're not looking at things that are inspiring, or even if you come across something that prevents that growth, prevents where you were headed, those sorts of stuff. Next element can literally just be all that potential that you've been having, and time has been going on. You're more stuck on, I didn't have the year that I wanted to. But again, you might be comparing to last year. You might be comparing to somebody else's year. You might be comparing it even to your goals. Look at my goals. Look at what I wrote down in the beginning. Or look at what I told myself I'll do the last 6 months. So get over that. Okay? I want y'all to get over that. Let's reprogram our mind by changing our thought process, by getting old habits out of our minds that don't need to be there. Let's not normalize any longer things that shouldn't be a part of us. And that means if you're sacrificing, let's say, relationships that you don't need anymore, or getting rid of, let's say, sleeping in more. I could give you examples, which I'll do in other videos. I can give so many different examples. But this is when you're keeping track of, okay, I noticed today, this is what I did all day that wasn't beneficial. I'll give you one last example just to finish off strong. So if you notice that, okay, you're just sitting there, or you're at work just thinking, dang, like, man, I wish I was in this position, snap out of it. You should be like, oh, I'm stacking my bread. Oh, I'm going hard right now because, man, I know where I'm going to be at. And whatever it is that's going to make you feel good, you got to be fixed on it. Life is very subjective. Many things are your opinion, your perception, right? And a lot of times you're just going to be maybe allowing something else to get in your head, or even your own self feeling not sure, not knowing what it is that you want for yourself can cause those anxieties. Sometimes you're not even thinking about the future, but just the idea of not feeling so sure. So as I said throughout this video, those things that you might not be thinking so highly of, or you might not think it's going to work, or that's the formula, or that's a blueprint, try it out for yourself. Keep it consistent. Don't worry about if this is a big thing or is it leading up to where it needs to. Just do it the best you can in that moment, and know that you are going to get somewhere with it. The rest of it, don't worry. Ooh, listen, God gave us the ability to have free will to do the things that, yes, we should be doing. Again, a lot of things are subjective. One person can say don't do that, or one person can say it's not that bad, etc. We obviously know what scripture can say, or we obviously know whatever you're reading or wherever you're getting your information from, you can still know what is right from wrong. You can still know what is evil and pure, etc. My point though is the things that you can do, you're still just fixed on that, right? And this is why prayer and meditation, that sorts of stuff, really do help people, because you're now looking within, internalizing, and looking at it as in like, what's going on inside my head? What's going up here? Okay, so I want to be somebody that can write a full page. So what will I do? Okay, you know what? I'll write every Friday half a page. Or I'll write 3 sentences. Or I'll read 3 pages. Or I'll read 3 lines. Like, start somewhere and just keep it going. And also, lastly, for all my people that put a lot of pressure on themselves, do not do that. I'm telling you, you're gonna like overthink it all, especially when you're already an overthinker. And I'm talking a lot from my own experience, but when you're an overthinker, you're going to be so in your head where it's like you're over internalizing everything, you're over visualizing everything, and it's just too much, and it strains you mentally, physically, for sure, right? So just nurture yourself. Let's say it like that. Care for yourself. Care for the things you want to care about. The things that are visibly physical out here that you could care for, that you could actually physically do that. The things that you're capable of doing, do that. Okay? So I didn't want to be all over the place, but like I've been saying, there's sometimes where I want to explain so much, and I have things that I already know I'm going to be saying. I noted it down, and then there's so much I think of as I go, but I'm just getting better. That's all that matters, right? Whether you feel that way or not, I feel that way. And I still appreciate your feedbacks and constructive criticism. So you could always let it be known. I hope this helped in some way. I love y'all. Take care of yourself. Be easy on yourself. Give yourself grace, and then also bounce back, and then also go at it, and then also be fresh. Refresh your mind. Take your time. Find the ways that works for you. Okay? I'll talk to you very soon. And that's it for this video. Bye, y'all.